Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Al Show. I'm Big Al. TNA TJ is late today, ladies and gentlemen. He's usually right on time, right here with us, but not today. So we're going to be waiting for him, and I'm sure he'll be coming in any moment to join us. But we have a lot of wrestling to talk about. We have a lot to get into. Bound for Glory, TNA's biggest pay-per-view of the year, is tomorrow. So we're going to do all our predictions. We're going to preview that. We're going to talk about Thursday, Before the Glory. A lot of TNA going on. This is TNA's time of the year. So we're going to talk about Before the Glory. And, of course, Hell in a Cell. We didn't get to talk about it last week. That's, Saturday. Hell in a Cell was on Sunday. I know it's old, but we're still going to get into Hell in a Cell a little bit, and especially Raw, and talk about John Cena and what is going on with him in Nexus. Is he going to go Donnie Brasco on us and join Nexus eventually? Is he going to get a real good feeling for the Nexus angle and start to just fall into that and start to like it? Or is he going to destroy them from within, as he said on Monday? So welcome, everybody, to the show. We're going to get into some news as well. Not a big news week, but a lot happening in wrestling. But welcome, everybody, joining us, Inc. And everybody else in the chat room. So let's start. Let's get into everything. Before Mr. TNA TJ shows up, boy, I have to go into my own wrestling fever. I am burning up for Ric Flair and Mick Foley. Did they put on a hell of a match? If that wasn't a 4-star overall entertaining match, I don't know what was. They put it all on the line, busted himself open, Foley went flying through a table. I didn't think you could take a bump like that anymore. Proved me wrong. Thank you, Foley. Beautiful, beautiful bump. It looked like he hurt himself, didn't it? Flair threw him. Looked like he went a little bit too far, slid right off the table, but it broke anyway. That was awesome. And Ric Flair connecting with a top rope move off the top rope, crashing down into Mick Foley, breaking the table. When was the last time you saw Ric Flair hit a move off the top rope? You've seen him miss a lot, but you haven't seen him connect too often. He did on Before the Glory. So that was great to see. Ladies and gentlemen, he's finally here, running very late today. Mr. TNA TJ. Welcome, TJ.
Yes.
So what's going on, Mr. TJ? How's your day going?
Going very busy, my friend, but I heard you talking about the Flair match.
What a match. Wasn't that the highlight of the week for you?
It was awesome. I love the falling off the top rope for the big breaking the table. It was awesome.
Yes, you were talking about that yesterday, how Flair didn't really jump off the top. He just kind of fell.
Yeah, it looked like a guy diving off a diving board, but not really diving, just kind of like this flopping.
A little scared, maybe.
But it was great. They stole the show second week in a row.
They did. So that was a great match, and there's a lot to talk about from that. I know you liked Raw, too, this week.
I did like Raw, and I'm very concerned about seeing it.
You were calling me. TNA TJ texted me a few times, ladies and gentlemen, asking about Cena, if he was going to be okay, if these guys would just leave him alone. You're a Cena maniac now.
I'm concerned.
Why are you worried about Cena all of a sudden?
I just don't think it's fair. He's really stuck. I mean, if that was me, I don't know what I would do.
Harrison's hating on the Flair Foley match because I thought 4 stars. Actually, 5 stars, Harrison. 5 stars. Yeah. Listen, it doesn't have to be a suplex machine match to have 4 stars. I understand if you want the Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, R.I.P. match, and I think today's Eddie's birthday, by the way. Rest in peace to Eddie. Yeah, maybe not 4 stars in that way, but as far as entertainment, hardcore, putting it on the line, the spots, the moves, the age, taking everything into account, no question about it, 4 stars. But that's my opinion. Harrison hates TNA, doesn't he? Has he ever had a nice thing to say about TNA other than the women, the knockouts in TNA, which I don't think are all that, which are the worst. Well, welcome either way, Harrison. So we also have Ink in the chat, the guests, and we're going to get into all the fun and games here on the show.
Ink lost.
Ink lost. Wasn't that very, very interesting? So the whole Orlando Jordan, yes, Eric Young, I don't know what the heck that was all about. I like it. Why?
It's a funny mixed-matched couple.
They certainly were a couple. looked like Eric Young didn't really understand that Orlando Jordan's gay, so I thought that was pretty entertaining. He didn't know who to make a tag to, who to wrestle. I said he's playing the old Kamala role. Kamala did this, I think, a few times way back in the day, but he could pass for someone who's confused and didn't understand the rules. I don't know so much about falling and hurting your head, and now you're just completely, retarded. But, well, he's hurt. I guess so. I imagine he's going to fall, hit his head again, and that's how they'll, come back to reality.
That's right.
Very creative.
By the way, Hogan is not hurt.
Hey, Dixie tweeted, I think, yesterday that Hogan is still in the hospital. Of course she did. This was very serious.
It's not. It's a hoax.
You don't think so? It's a hoax.
Yeah, I think the first time it was serious, and then they've been playing this. They've been playing everybody.
What makes you so sure that Hogan, you think he's going to come out of Bound for Glory?
Yes.
What's going to happen?
He's turning with Bischoff.
Well, we're pretty sure, right? Bischoff and Hogan have to turn heel. But is he going to be there Sunday? Because supposedly he's been in the hospital now for about over a month.
Right. What is he, documenting his hospital visits all of a sudden? I mean, come on, man. His surgery is documented. It's all a hoax, man.
I don't know. I think the jury's still out. I don't think it's all a hoax. There's probably more to it. Kevin Nash on his Twitter is now saying, forget it. He's done with TNA, 4 days left, and he said thank you to all the fans, but he's done, and he said thanks, TNA, for letting me go.
Wow.
Is that a shoot, or do you think that's another part of this elaborate storyline they have cooked up for us?
I would think it's a storyline, because anybody working for me talking trash the whole time, I would just let him go.
You would think so.
Right.
Why has he been there? Why would they make him such a focal point? He's in sort of the main event picture, though, right now, with the Pope and Sting. Whatever's going on, that group looks like they're going to be in the middle of it, right?
Right.
Or are they just going to get rid of the older guys? Is that something, maybe, the angle that they're looking at here? It's hard to see, I think, where TNA specifically is going, other than Bischoff and Hogan are going to be heels, and they're going to be in control of some situation there with some wrestlers, that they favor and some they don't.
Dixie signed something, by the way. A lot of people missed that.
Oh, yeah, you think there's more to this. Tell everybody about that.
Well, Bischoff came into the back there and had her sign a paper. She didn't read it, by the way, saying this is for the release of this. So she just signed it real quick in the heat of the moment, and he left.
And you think there's something in that contract that's going to maybe give Bischoff control of the company?
Yes.
Something along those lines?
Yes. There's going to be it's going to be all revealed 10-10-10. Trust me. She messed up.
Speaking of reveals, who's going to be they? Who's going to be they? This is they.
I don't know. I don't get it. I'd assume it's some kind of weird, funky cult. They're like cutting people, burning people, hurting people. That would make more sense than just, beat Hogan like, I don't know. Like, what does their bitch have to do with anything about that?
We'll find out on 10-10-10 tomorrow. It's going to be big. So we just get right into it. So we just talk about Bound for Glory right now. This is TNA's biggest pay-per-view of the year, supposedly. You guys already know I don't like the title Bound for Glory. I think that's one of the dumber pay-per-view titles these days, other than, Fatal 4-Way, Hell in a Cell, the gimmick pay-per-view titles.
I should order it.
Why are you going to order it?
It's an important event.
Why don't you just have another wrestling party?
Oh, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Bound for Glory, we're going to find out who they are. I have no idea who they are because he's been all over the place with this. Is it going to be a Ministry of Darkness, his own little group, maybe his own little clique kind of thing going on? Are these wrestlers? Are they going to be wrestlers? Are they going to be people we already know? Is somebody turning to join him, to go against him? There's a lot of questions out there, and I don't know if we're going to get all the answers on Sunday. I hope so.
I believe so. I believe it's some clique.
Hey, I already did my Wrestling Fever, so it's time for you to do yours. I had Foley and Flair. I gave it to both of them.
Well, I'd have to think about this. You kind of got me on the spot on the Fever. There's a million guys that run through my head. I can tell you, a million names. But just
let's hear one. Well, how about
guy? It's Stinger.
Why Sting?
Because he's still around. He's awesome.
That's not a good reason.
Sure it is.
In addition to Abyss revealing who they are, he's going to be wrestling RVD. I think this is a fairly intriguing match. They've built this up okay. You know what I want to know? Why can't they do this sort of build for every pay-per-view? Why does it have to be a special Bound for Glory? Because they built this angle a little bit. They had him take the injury time off. I think they were forced to give RVD time off. But, you know, I think that works out. When somebody gets hurt, they should be out for a little while. So I think they did good build for this match. You know, that being said, who goes over in this match? Who wins?
Well, RVD had a lot of cuts from that.
Do they really want to, you know, have Abyss lose? They're making him like a monster. You saw him on Thursday. He throw 50 people out of that ring, even though there was only 20 in it. He was throwing everybody out.
He won't lose. Like I said, there's something going on with that. Why didn't Bischoff just fire him right away? He was so content not to fire him. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of put up a little fight for it.
You think Abyss is with Bischoff?
I don't know if he's with them, but it's just weird how why wasn't he should have been like, man, I'm going to fire him right now. Like, why was he putting up a little fight to save him? It just doesn't make sense.
A lot of that stuff's not making sense, but hopefully tomorrow we'll figure it all out at Bound for Glory. Team 3D has a big announcement to make. I don't know what that is. I think they just signed a contract. There's a spoiler out there I read about the plans for 3D. I didn't read the spoiler. I don't believe in them. So if you want, you could probably go find out. I think the big announcement, looks like it's just going to be the angle where they're headed. Are they going to quit TNA? Are they going to take part in maybe this big picture angle they're finally doing with Hogan and Bischoff at the top? Maybe they're going to say they don't like it here anymore or something like that.
Maybe. But I'll tell you what I did like on TNA, by the way. Sorry to change the subject. I liked all these little promos they were running with each wrestler. Kind of, they haven't done that for a while. So Team 3D were in New York. They did a little bit of
Tommy Dreamer was there.
Right.
They did Philadelphia.
Right. They did one of Jay Lethal at his home.
Yeah, I saw that. Did they said they're gonna do that on Reaction, right? Go see his parents or something. Did they show that?
I didn't see that part, but I'm just saying during the Impact, that wasn't bad.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. A little more character development.
Yeah,
is always good. Overall, did you think Before the Glory was a pretty good show? It was okay.
So-so.
Like so-so. Average, but, you know, the Flair Foley put it over the top.
Right, that's what gave it the B for me.
Yeah, two legends going at it. You know, I didn't think Flair would ever go through a table. Has he ever gone through a table? I've never seen him go through a table. Oh, sure, I have. I don't remember it. So for him to do it, especially this stage in his career, you got to take your hat off to him, don't you?
Sure. I'm surprised Foley moved around as good as he did, because the last time I saw him, he looked terrible. He barely could walk.
Absolutely. And Foley had sort of been taking, I don't want to say taking matches off, but he hadn't been hardcore, really going at it for a while, has he in TNA? That was the old Mankind, Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, I remember, from 80s and 90s.
I did enjoy Flair cutting his head, though.
Didn't he take about 5 minutes to finally get a good cut?
It was so obvious. I must have saw him, like, go to his head a million times.
He was rubbing his head, TNA TJ. He was hurt, that's all. He knew the blood was coming.
He looks like a maniac.
He looks great. This 60-year-old man, white hair flying everywhere, this crazy look on his face, blood faded all over himself,
and bright blue eyes.
Bright blue eyes popping out.
Dude, that guy looks sick. Like, he looks like he belongs in a mental hospital, no?
Yeah, it's almost a whole new character for him altogether.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's not like, he doesn't mind getting dirty. You know, before he was like the nature boy, you know. It's kind of a funny role he's playing.
So we'll see what happens with that. Like you were talking about, Ink Inc. taking on Orlando Jordan and Eric Young.
Not a fan of Ink Inc., but Eric Young and the other guy, I like them both.
You know,
do something.
Maybe a little, yeah, they have some character at least. You know, I've never been too big on Orlando Jordan, but this is kind of an odd couple mix and match tag team. Those are always good if they stick with and push them a little bit. And, you know, the tag teams in the WWE, let's face it, they're not really highlighted anymore. They're throwing together people like Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. So at least TNA, I think, they're focusing much more on their tag teams as they have. Severe Money, Motor City Machine Guns, Ink Inc. now. Ink Inc.'s not great, but hey, they are a legit tag team, right? They have a name, you know, so at least they're a tag team. We can argue about whether they suck or not, but they're a tag team. Sure. And now these guys, Orlando and Eric, kind of odd couples, but you could see them fitting together in a strange way.
Sure.
But you could see a big breakup coming too.
I don't want a breakup. I would like a neat name for the group, first of all. I'd hope they come up with something creative and funny, kind of. And by the way, the EV2 thing is kind of rubbed off on me.
What do you mean?
I like the name now. I tell you why I like it. I mean, that still doesn't make really much sense, but it's easy for the fans to chant. I know it sounds stupid, but I hear the fans chanting it. I'm sorry, they do. It's easy to say because they're forced to. They have guns in Universal. They're aiming at. Are they in Universal? No. No, I'm sorry, Disney, right? I don't know. Where the hell are? Oh, Universal. Okay. They have guns to the fans' heads at Universal, forcing them to cheer whichever way they want. They are not chanting. They like the name. They probably have like a big sign up going EV2, EV2. It's a talk show. They don't have the applause. I think it is kind of like a talk show over there. That sucks. Oh, and I was disappointed with the Shore. You know, everybody hates the Shore. I don't know. It was silly. They're trying to be too much. We talked about this. They're trying to be way too much like the Jersey Shore. Like, these are just complete, like, these are the characters. They want them to be characters from the Jersey Shore. Couldn't they just be a cocky guy from New Jersey? Right. Why can't he come out and say, you know, we all don't talk like that or we all don't act like that, but still sort of have that New Jersey attitude and look to him? There's other ways they could have done it, but you know, you get what they were going for. It's very simple and plain. And sure, it would have been a perfect time, though. Like I said, I was telling you, for a group or people to come out and say, Orlando sucks, you guys are trailer trash, whatever they wanted to say. You know, yes, because there's nobody that does it. That's their arena. They don't want to alienate the Orlando fans. That's all they have right now. So what? They're not going on the road. They're going to Daytona for Bound for Glory. It's a road trip. They won't come back if these guys come out and say they're trash. Not necessarily, but I mean, that's heat. That's what you want. I think that would have been major heat. Well, write Vince Russo and let him know. Well, Russo's stupid. Welcome, everybody, all our guests. Ink Shannon going crazy in the chat with all his comments here. He thinks Eric, Young, and Jordan are so weird. Yes, that makes him. That's only because he's an Ink fan. But that's what makes him great. He's thinking about them, is he not? So we're still in our TNA. We'll get into our WWE in a little bit. Have you thought about your Fever wrestler yet? Yes. Fever wrestler is John Cena. Let's go through it. Yeah. I feel bad for the guy, but he's a super, and he's going to figure this out. He is Cena, and I do believe in it. Wow. The Cena haters aren't going to like that. There's a lot of Cena haters on the internet, and they're not going to be very happy with you. I don't give up. You don't give up. Yeah. So screw them, right? Did you hear the crowd chanting, "Never give up"? It was pretty emotional. You were too on my couch. You were chanting "Never give up" in jean shorts. Well, I'm thinking about it. You know what? It's hard for me not to like Cena. It's very hard. I like the guy. Well, he reminds me of Hogan so much when I was a kid. And he's the same sort of character, the good guy, fighting against all odds. I know it's a tired story. Some people, especially the smart marks, are tired of hearing it. But, you know, it is what it is. It sells. I think it's good. I don't think the good hero overcoming all odds, the good guy, ever really gets old. You know, there might be times when it's not as popular and you have to go more attitude, like the Steve Austin or The Rock. But, you know, I want that too. WWE isn't going to do it. So it is what it is. And I don't think, I think Cena's great. And I think he's very good for wrestling, especially these days. There's not what's left in wrestling these days? What new characters and wrestlers have come out that have really captured the crowd? Which ones have gone mainstream, where people all over the world know who they are? John Cena, I think, if he's not there, he's right on the cusp of it. Randy Orton's not there yet. So who else? Yeah, he's a damn good talker to me. You know why I like him now? I just feel like he's such a good talker, and he makes me believe so much that he's so emotional to the sport, to the wrestling. You know what I mean? I think he is. That's what I'm saying, but that's what sells me. He's just so into it. You know, he's such a good guy, and he's a hard worker. He wrestles hard. I don't know. I guess I'm liking him. You've seen a fan, you. God, hard worker. What am I talking about? Hard worker. Blue collar. Jeez. Well, I agree with you. Cena's good. He's good for the sport. No, you're not gonna hear any Cena bashing on this show. Not from us anyway. That's right.
All right, back to our TNA predictions. Jeff Jarrett and Samoa Joe against Kevin Nash, Sting, and the Pope.
Don't get the match.
Not at all. I'm completely confused, and I'm hoping there'll be some clarity. I'm hoping this match doesn't even happen. Or if I'm looking at it, they should all jump Samoa Joe. He looks like the odd man out. But, of course, I don't get, TNA storylines a lot of times. So I don't know what they're doing with that match. And if Kevin Nash is out, if he's done, if he's leaving like he says on Twitter, why is he in this match? Why was he then a focal point? Because it looked like they've been, the main ones. They're out there with Bischoff. They're out there calling for Hogan. They're involved in the main story. You don't put, a guy who's leaving tomorrow in your main story, I wouldn't think.
Right. What's this I read about, by the way? Dixie Carter, like there's rumors backstage that they're treating her wrong. Hear about that?
Oh, there was some, I guess there's probably one guy, a source. One person said, he thinks creative intentionally is giving Dixie Carter stupid roles on TV. That's definitely not true because creative is Vince, and Vince Russo loves her.
Right.
No. I don't think it's that stupid, but, she acts a little ridiculous, no? Is she really an actor?
No, but, I prefer to stay out of it, but whatever. I really think they're playing the Internet. I think they're playing the Internet, and I think TMZ's also involved. I know it sounds funky.
TMZ's not involved.
Yeah, they are. They had a new video of the Hogan thing. They're the ones that are covering most of the story. They have to know this is not legit.
I don't think so. It would ruin their reputation. They wouldn't do that. TMZ can't start doing fake news. That's why. There's no way. TMZ is not involved. That blows a hole in your whole theory. Then they got fooled. But, no, TMZ wouldn't. No, I don't think they would knowingly want to do that because it would hurt their reputation. Not that they have this awesome, clean rep, but if they're reporting a wrestling storyline is real, that's bad for them.
That's true.
That's bad.
But it'd be good. It would be good.
They would have hit him. They would have got him. Hogan would have got him.
But they don't care.
Hogan's in the hospital. I know you think he's outside jogging.
Oh, come on.
He's in the hospital.
You wouldn't.
You really think he's popping up tomorrow with Bound for Glory?
Yes.
I don't know. That's a good mystery, and I think it's a good question that no one's really talking about. I think it could all be a work, definitely. Is he going to pop up? We'll see.
Why would Sting challenge him the week before? They all know he's hurt, supposedly. Of course he can't. He's having back surgery. He's been in the hospital 80 times since the first time picking up seashells. And then now there's a story that the injury started by Hogan picking up seashells. Yes, which is, come on. Now, I believe that. For some reason, I believe he really did get hurt that day, but then they've been selling it since, and it is great. It's working for the storyline. So I'm telling you, he's fine, dude. He's going to come out and probably leg drop somebody.
He can't leg drop anybody. He hasn't done a leg drop in a long time, man. That will hurt his back. He'll blow that sucker right out. He blew out his hip in Australia.
He's fine, dude. He just wrestled on TNA like a million times already.
That was not wrestling. He threw punches.
It's fine.
He fell to the ground slowly, grabbing the ropes to help his fall. He wasn't wrestling.
He got cut.
Let's make that clear.
Hogan wrestling. Good enough. He's fine, dude.
No. I don't think it's a story, but we'll find out.
You're getting played, dude.
Madison Reigns, Velvet Sky. I'm sorry, I pay no attention to the knockouts division. I don't think it's any good. It's all just pretty ladies. I guess it's a little better than the Divas in the WWE, but is women's wrestling anywhere near healthy right now in either federation?
No. But they have a hell of a name. A group name.
Beautiful people are a good group.
Yeah.
It's a good concept. No question about that. And Michelle McCool and Layla pretty much take that concept.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're having a four-way. I wish.
Whoa.
And Mickie James. No. And Mickie James is going to be the special rep. Did you like her debut on TNA Impact? She came out and cut a little promo on Mickie James. I'm here, and I'm going to be the special rep for the match. And then she said the wrong champion. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Well, you wouldn't know because they flipped the title around so much, so I really don't blame Mickie James too much. But you do have to know the name of the champion at the time, right?
Right.
Okay, so she should have remembered the name.
She makes mistakes. We all. She's the best.
She has a lot of fun. You like her? What do you think? What were your initial impressions?
It was okay. She didn't bother me. How about that?
Okay, and that's pretty good for a female.
That's right.
She had I liked the Piggy James storyline in the WWE. Of course not, but I liked it. I thought that was a pretty cool storyline. I know they were kind of dogging Mickey James a little, but, you know, you dog the hero enough when they finally come back, it's a big thing. I thought it was good. I thought it worked.
Yeah, the crowd likes it.
Sure. That's what's kind of sure they do. Jay Lethal is going to take on Douglas Williams for the X Division title.
And he gets his rematch, I guess. Doug Williams.
I don't know. They're really not doing too much with the storylines here with the X title, so.
He'll win, by the way. Lethal.
I hope so. Lethal's good, and I'm glad they're pushing him. I wish they weren't pushing him as a little guy. I mean, I like the separation, but, you know, they're making him kind of just the X guy. And I think he's a little better than that. They had him in the picture with Ric Flair. Now, how do you go from Flair to Doug Williams? I guess you're building him up, but I don't know. And they're high on Doug Williams. I imagine he's a good speaker. I like him.
Yeah, he's good, but they're
not doing anything. They're not doing anything with either of those guys.
They're building his character at all. No, Lethal's an X Division guy. I don't think he's a heavyweight guy.
You have to take control here, TNA TJ.
What are you doing?
Take over the show for a second.
Really? Now it's going to get real exciting, folks. This is when I get starstruck. Anyway, yeah, starstruck.
Don't be so sorry. Dude, you're not an idiot. You can cover regular. You know, you can sit on the radio for 2 minutes by yourself.
No. I'm not good with this. It's going to be bad radio, though. It's going to be.
Okay, here's the topic, bro. Ted DiBiase Jr., you don't like it. Talk about it.
There we go. He's terrible. Awful. You figure his dad would have definitely, taught him better. I mean, Jesus, where the hell did he go to wrestling school? Obviously not where his dad went, because he has no traits of that. None. He just cares. They're putting him in a match with freaking Gold Dust. Nobody cares about Gold Dust. What does that tell you? Nobody cares about Ted DiBiase Jr. Nobody cares. He's so bad.
Isn't Gold Dust yesterday's news? And I love how just given a name, you can then go on for a couple minutes. Come on.
That was easy.
Yeah. Think of your own wrestlers. Great wrestlers in the world. Goldust is silly, isn't he? Or haven't we had enough of him? Yes. They say the reason they came up with the idea for Goldust and Ted DiBiase Jr. now is because their fathers had a feud about this time, a long time ago. Give me a break. I know, Dusty and Ted DiBiase Sr., great feud, Sapphire, I loved it. He bought her off. We were just watching the SummerSlam, right, where Sapphire didn't show up for her match with Sherry. She was too busy, right, with the $1 Million Man.
Yes.
Bought her off. That was a great storyline.
Sure. But there's a lot wrong with this one. Number one, both sons are neither of what their dads were. They're not even close to what their characters were.
Well, Goldust is pretty good. Dustin Rhodes is pretty good. He's pretty good. Maybe not now. He's older.
Right.
No, but overall in his career, pretty good.
Sure, he did his own. But I'm saying he was his own person.
And that's tough to do. That's tough to do in the shadow of Dusty Rhodes, and I thought he did a great job.
But now you got Ted DiBiase Jr. trying to be like.
Yeah, Cody, I don't agree with you. I'll agree with you. He's not, ever going to be on the level of you and Dustin.
No, of course not. That's because he can't build his own character. The character he builds sucks.
Why does it suck?
Because it just doesn't go with him.
Dashing.
Well, yeah, but he's not dashing to me. It's I don't know. I get a better looking guy for that.
It's time to play douche.
No, it's not. Not yet. We're just kidding, everybody. We're just faking you out. That's not till later. Stick with us. Oh, and we got a big announcement to make. We got our big old school radio special coming up soon. Real soon. We're going to be talking about old school wrestling. We're going to start at WrestleMania 4.
Ooh.
WrestleMania 4. Start reviewing that, talking about that. Lots to talk about. Boy, what it would have been, what it could be if that was back now, those times in wrestling. How different was WrestleMania 4 compared to what's going on now?
Oh, huge.
I mean, it's different altogether. It's not even, it's wrestling, and this stuff is just, wow. It's different, and we're going to talk all about it. We got to announce a time and a place where that's going to happen. Can't be on a Saturday.
Can't be at 1 in the morning.
Can't be at 1 in the morning. We don't want to program at that time. No one's going to listen. We want to keep our Saturday at 6. We like our That's our usual. That's when we're both available to do this. And that's going to stay the main show, guys. No matter what happens, as we start to branch out, do different shows, we'll always have, the Saturday wrestling show, 6 o'clock. Maybe a Friday. I was thinking that as well. Perhaps a Friday night special, a little Friday night SmackDown of our own. And go old school, something like Old School Fridays. Huh? Old School Fridays? Who wants Old School Fridays, everybody? We're going to bring back the old timers. All right, we're going to talk about what was going on behind the scenes way back when. Okay, we're going to go back to when wrestling was real. Wrestling was a sport, not the entertainment stuff that you're seeing today. None of that garbage. We're going to take it back to the sport that it should be, and I can't wait. So how about we do it next Friday? Everybody join us next Friday. I was thinking 8 o'clock. TNA TJ? Sounds good to me. So next Friday at 8 o'clock, Old School Friday with Big Al and TNA TJ. We're going to talk about random times and old school moments in wrestling. And next Friday we start with WrestleMania 4. And then who knows what we're going to do after that. You're going to have to stick with us. Won't be every Friday, but when we do it, Friday nights, 8 o'clock. Make sure you join us. And we got our first one. There you have it. This Friday, 8 o'clock. Everybody be there. Old School Friday. If you're an old school fan, you like the old school wrestlers and old school angles, and you want to talk about that, that's where we're going to be. And we'll take a lot of calls on that show. So if you want to talk to TNA TJ and Big Al, we'll open up the phone lines and get a little wild on Friday night. So if you're around, that's the deal.
Relive some memories.
Relive some memories. Go back to your childhood. Fridays at 8 o'clock. Old school Fridays. And then, of course, Saturday at 6, as always, for the Big Al Show.
Or if you're younger and you haven't really watched older wrestling, even a good time to learn a little bit of history.
That's a great point. So come back and learn a little history with us on Friday. Ink fan is very excited about it.
Well, it should be.
Glad you're available on Friday. Back to Bound for Glory, Jen Me, which I think is a great tag team. Small, they're light. But I think they're pretty good, taking on the Motor City Machine Guns. They stole belts from the Motor City Machine Guns. Are they going to go home with the belts? I say no. I don't think they're ready to give them the belts. I'm surprised they're even pushing them as hard as they are. But I agree with it. They're that good. I think they're that good.
They're good. They're good. They work the crowd good. They're such little pricks, but
they're good wrestlers. I haven't seen any promos from them. I'm sure you have. You've watched a little more than me.
Not promos, but I've seen them cut interviews.
How are they?
They're good. They're pissy. So they're like little pricks. And when I'm mad at them. But that's what makes them good heels, right?
No, they came out. They were faces. Originally, they were like the Rockers.
Yeah, but they sucked.
No. They were great when they came. Dude, their wrestling was great.
They're wrestling, but I mean, they're the good guy thing. People, they have the look of bad guys, of cockiness.
I suppose so, but I like them. I like them from the beginning. I'm going to stick with them. I hope they win the match. I'm all for it. Fortune taking on your favorite name ever, EV2, which I still think is dumb as hell. Who do you think is going to win that? Do you like where they're going with either of these stables? I like the idea of having a hardcore stable. Can we just call them hardcore something? Can we just call them hardcore legends? Is that allowed? Probably not, right? Vince McMahon might come over and punch somebody in the face.
Something, man. I don't mind Fortune. I just don't get a couple guys that are in it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. You got one too many that just doesn't fit the other guys in the group. You know what I mean?
Beer Money doesn't belong there.
No, they don't belong. Who else they got?
Matt Morgan belongs. I disagree with you.
No, he's all right.
You didn't like him there.
He's all right, but they got the English guy in the background.
Desmond Wolfe? Is he still there?
No, I think it's Doug Williams now.
What happened to Desmond Wolfe? I haven't seen him. Is he banished? In the doghouse?
Yeah, maybe. I haven't heard anything. Chelsea. I'm sure she's gone too.
Boy, we've been pretty heavy with TNA this show. But it's Bound for Glory.
It is.
Bound for Glory preview.
It's like their WrestleMania.
It's their WrestleMania, which is kind of sad, right?
What do you think?
They're going to do like $20,000.
You think so?
It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
But you know what? They're picking up. The ratings are picking up. Impact this week, everybody, 1.3.
Wow.
Live show. Not a big pop, statistically.
Right.
But, overall, their shows usually get a 1.0 on Thursdays. Some of them times a 0.9 they were. They've definitely improved since they limped back to Thursdays. So why not go live every week, Dixie? Come on, do it. You'll have 1.5 at least weekly, and then you grow from there. Can we please go live? It was fun. I watched. You never know what's going to happen when it's live. A wrestler can cut any kind of promo, really, and they can't stop them. Can we please go live again, especially in TNA? If you want us to believe in all this, putting stuff on the Internet and making it like it's a real, not scripted, then you got to have live shows where people could go off track, where Kevin Nash could just grab the mic and say, screw this, I'm going home. I'm not for breaking kayfabe. I'm not for going out and just saying this is all scripted stuff. But if you want to make it cutting-edge, realistic, where even wrestling fans are scratching their heads, it needs to be live.
Oh, and the wrestlers care more.
Because if it's taped and you don't want it in the show, you wouldn't have it in the show.
Well, yeah.
If a guy wants to, abduct Dixie Carter, I don't think they would show that. Right. But, of course, that was live.
Right.
Not that I still believe that or think that should have happened as far as that show goes.
The wrestlers care more, though, when it's live, I believe. They try harder.
Absolutely. And I think they would tell you as much.
Well, then they need to keep it live.
Thanks, TNA TJ. Jeez. RVD and Abyss, we talked a little bit about this earlier. I'm going to go with, I guess RVD's coming back from injury, but there's something at work here. We might find out in that match a little bit about it with Scott Hogan and everything that's going on. Something's happening.
I go with this.
Okay, you're going to go Abyss. Yeah. They're making him a monster. I could see it as well.
Well, he's saying they're coming. Are they coming to help him?
Are they coming to help him? That's the big question. Who are they? Freaks. Mr. Anderson, Kurt Angle, and Jeff Hardy for the World Heavyweight title. You got to go Kurt Angle, right?
You think so.
But he did win the Battle Royal.
All right.
So if he won the Battle Royal, you would think he was going to lose the match.
It's tough.
But he's Hogan's guy. Hogan called him, told him to take out Abyss.
Yeah.
But then, you're saying what's going on then with Bischoff if he's with Abyss, doesn't want him fired. There's a lot at play here. I don't know, man. I don't know where this is all going. But I haven't been watching TNA regularly, but I'm interested. At least they have people's attention, and there's some sort of intrigue to it, and there's at least there's going to be some sort of payoff. Something is going to happen at Down for Glory. Whether we think it's dumb or not, we'll find out.
I don't think Mr. Anderson's won.
Why not? He just signed a new contract, long term.
Yeah, I know. I just don't think they're ready to give it to him yet.
We'll find out. I think Mr. Anderson could be a good champion.
Could be, but I just don't see it yet. I don't see that's where they're going with it, that particular thing.
All right, well, that's Down for Glory. Thursday, like I said, Abyss kidnapped Dixie Carter. How stupid was that?
It was bad. He would have went to jail.
Again, he would already been in jail.
Why wouldn't they just take the thing away from him?
We talked about Mickie James' debut. I thought she did. It was okay. It was an alright promo. Again, she forgot the name of the champion, but it is what it is. Kurt Angle won the Battle Royal. I like the concept of the Battle Royal, even though the WWE kind of bucked it and took it right before they did it. It was advertised, and WWE had their little Battle Royal with Cena. And we still got to get into Raw. We didn't talk about Raw yet.
It wasn't for money.
But it wasn't for money, right? But it was still, all of a sudden, they just had a Battle Royal that week. Kind of odd.
Oh, big money involved.
Did you hear Kurt Angle? Don't worry, he's going to give it to charity.
I figured that.
He's a good guy.
I'd only expect.
And the charity is Hulk Hogan's pockets. That was what that phone call was all about.
Right.
Like we said, we like the Orlando Jordan and Eric Young thing. I think that could be interesting. And reaction, you saw more of that than I did. I didn't really watch any of that except the match.
I did. You missed the Kurt Angle.
Reaction, by the way, did a 0.7. Not bad. That's about the rating that NXT was getting. So that says something more about NXT than TNA, right? We know TNA's ratings are in the toilet.
There you go.
So when they're just throwing reaction out there after the show and it's getting NXT ratings,
that's true.
I think that looks worse on WWE than TNA there. That's true.
But if WWE ran a show right after them, I think they'd just do as well or better. So I don't know about that, buddy.
All right, we're going to turn this show into a speed show, ladies and gentlemen. And we were going to go through the news at rocket speed pace, okay? We're going to rock through it. And then we're going to get into Hell in a Cell. Going to go through that.
Fake news or real news?
Real news.
Not the SNL news.
No. And then we're going to talk quickly about Raw. and then talk about Old School Friday next Friday at 8 o'clock. I can't wait for that.
Nice. Give us the fake news.
All right, we're going to start right after.
Yeah. This is good stuff. Very good music, and I'm still going to always tell you that WWE is the best. But it's cool as anything that's going on today. If you haven't watched it, please do this. Monday Night Show, any of them, for $4.99. You'll say, stop. I don't want to hear that from you guys.
Very nice. Time for wrestling news, and we're going to go through it very, very, very quickly. Bragging Rights pay-per-view, The Miz will be representing Raw. Big Show will be representing SmackDown. Miz kind of a weak representative for Raw, I'm sorry. Weak.
Cool.
Okay. Nash, like we said, he is gone. He says he's going to be leaving. Thanks, TNA, for letting me go. Real or not?
No. Fake.
Okay. Justin Bieber may be doing America the Beautiful at WrestleMania 27.
Girls love him. It'll be packed.
It'll be packed anyway, but will he get booed? Wrestling fans are different.
Yes.
He might get booed.
Maybe. Half and half. It might be. Yeah, maybe.
Dixie Carter tweeted that Hulk Hogan is still recovering, and she's hoping that everyone is praying Hulk pulls through.
Come on.
Bullshit or not?
Total bullshit.
Batista says the WWE is his future. He's no longer considering MMA.
Smart choice. After seeing what happened to your fellow guy, other wrestler there, yeah, it's not wrestling, but it's totally different.
Yeah, and in addition to that, I guess VIP was right, except it just never is going to happen. Batista was, in some talks to face Bobby Lashley, but that will never come to be. I don't think Batista will ever fight MMA. No. It's a smart move. I don't think he would have done too well.
You got knocked out, boy.
Bruce Prichard, known to a lot of wrestling fans as Brother Love, is now with TNA.
No way.
In a manager position.
Oh, yeah, I heard the guy's a red face. Right?
Yes, the guy's a red face.
He's on a lot of the DVDs.
He is. He was very, very close. He was in Vince McMahon's Inner Circle at one time.
Right.
And he now works for TNA. I think it's a great pickup for TNA if they actually use him or, actually take some of his ideas and input. I think he's a very smart mind, from everything that I've heard anyway and seen in wrestling. He's been involved in. I think he was around McMahon at a good time, and he was in the Inner Circle working with him during the Attitude Era. Great character. He's been there forever. I think he could help TNA.
Well, I think it's a production manager or something like that.
Production is good. That's pretty much the whole show, so we hope he helps out in that area. And I think the Impact's been getting a little better.
You could fire the other guys, by the way. If I was, you've been doing terrible.
You could have fired him.
Who's the guy?
Oh, no. D'Lo's talent manager. That's totally different.
Well, who's those guys?
Don't bash on D'Lo. He's a good guy.
The other guy, what's his name? The carries ahead?
Terry Taylor?
No, not Terry. Carries ahead. Terry Taylor carries ahead.
The guy that Al Snow?
Yeah, dude.
I don't know what he's doing.
Well, come on.
I'm not sure. He's probably just hanging out with McFoley.
Getting paid for that?
The new DVD, Top 50 WWE Superstars, the top 50 wrestling stars of all time. Very interesting. We have seen the cover. Okay? On that cover, we have 27 wrestlers.
Oh.
Interesting to note, not on the cover. Now, of course, they'll still be in the DVD. But, they weren't on the cover. That's kind of an insult. Hulk Hogan was not on the cover. Ric Flair was not on the cover. The Macho Man Randy Savage was not on the cover. I would just add this, Sting, but, you would, of course.
Ultimate Warrior?
Sting wouldn't be on there. And Ultimate Warrior was not on the cover. So pretty much anyone that Vince had a beef with, a problem with, is in another federation, anyone he has an agenda with was left off the cover. Doesn't that say it all, though? Doesn't that pretty much tell you that the DVD, even though it might be awesome, and I'm sure it will be, is bullshit as far as top 50 goes? Who's on the cover? Pat Patterson's on the cover. Pat Patterson was on there. This is best friends.
Boring ass.
What a shock. Edge was on the cover.
Wow.
Yeah. Top 50 all-time wrestlers, Edge.
Kind of surprised.
Sergeant Slaughter was on the cover.
Sure, you can put him on a cover.
Okay. Kane was on the cover.
No way.
Kane was on the cover. Wow. Top 50 wrestlers of all time.
Terrible.
Get the hell out of here with that DVD. Who are you kidding? Randy Orton was top 50. I like Orton. Is he top 50 already?
Yeah.
Cena's on the cover. He should be. Okay. We're getting way too lovey-dovey with Cena. We got to take it easy.
What about that?
Rock and Austin are on the cover.
Dan better be.
But, interesting just to note who was excluded and who was
Andre the Giant.
I don't believe Andre was on the cover. I could be wrong. DiBiase was.
Okay.
He was on the cover.
What about DDT guy?
Jake the Snake was on the cover.
Okay, you got to do that.
It's interesting, yeah. So we'll
Roddy
see.
Piper.
He was on the cover, yeah. All right, TNA. All right, TNA TJ. Everyone can go look up the cover of the DVD for themselves.
Oh, okay.
And Piper is on the cover.
Yeah, I'll see you. Tell me that.
Yeah, see it. Backstage, we already talked about that. More DVD news. Boy, we're getting into DVDs like crazy. 2011, you're going to see the 100 Craziest Moments, the best of WCW Nitro.
What?
Yeah. You heard me.
No way.
Coming on next year, the best of WCW Nitro. You excited?
Of course.
New DVD.
How long?
I have no idea.
This?
I have no idea. It's planned.
4 discs.
It's in the plan.
Part 1.
I don't know.
Thunder? Are they going to do one of that too? That's the Thunder? That'd be cool. That's the Thunder?
You have to do that just for you.
That's the Saturday night. Tell me you want to watch Saturday night one. Could you watch that early? You would love it. Where does that come? I don't ever see Saturday night. That's going to happen. See a DVD of the History of DX, History of the U.S. title.
History of the U.S. title should be good.
Both of those.
History of DX also. They're going to have a Diva set. Yeah. Superstars to come out with their own DVD next year include Randy Orton, Big Show, which should be good. Is it too early for these guys? Why are they having DVDs out? They should wait until their career's a little, gone longer, and they could do a better set. But I guess, make their money.
Hey, remember we were watching that table, by the way?
Gold Dust? Yeah,
You know she's married to Brock Lesnar.
Is she now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
saw yesterday.
I think I heard that. She was married, of course, to Johnny B. Bad.
Right, we were talking about Sorry.
Jerry Lawler, we talked about him, and Greg Valentine getting his own DVD. That should be interesting, even though he's not the most exciting wrestler
You made a video of your 50
of all time, Valentine, but he was good. He was ring psychology at its finest, but a little sleepy, he'll make you. We're going to talk about that on Friday, Old School Friday, everybody.
It's a good gift to give your dad to the wrestling fan.
Craig the Hammer? Yeah.
Your dad, this guy was the best.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Scott Hall's out of rehab. It's good for Scott. Keep it up, Scott. TNA drug testing. Apparently they drug tested, and whoever failed was just told they failed. Nothing happened.
That's good.
So why are they drug testing? Just let them know. We're letting you know. We know.
Right.
So if they actually don't like someone, they want to get rid of them, it'd be easy to do, right?
Sure.
Oh, yeah? You don't like the way we're booking you? We need to have a pee test right now.
That's what we wish they had.
Yeah. Well, they fire who they want then.
Yeah, that's true.
When we were talking about Paul Heyman going to TNA, we were so excited about that for like a month or so, remember? Everybody was jumping on that and excited. Of course, the talk is dead. They say the main reason, or the big reason, Dixie refused to give Paul Heyman the ability to hire and fire people. Well, can I ask you then, why would she want him?
Right.
She's just hiring people to work with who she brings in. You got to work with my guys, and you got to work with the angles that I prefer. I mean, why would anyone come in and do that? You're just going to be putting on a show for the owner. Ted Turner was never in the back telling people, who should wrestle or who should be wrestling or who should hire or who you should fire.
Right.
Imagine if Ted Turner was in the back in WCW. Now Vince does it, of course.
He's a different character.
But Vince knows a little bit more about wrestling than Dixie Carter.
Grew up harder like
Ted Carter kind of likes it.
Well, at least Ted Turner liked it.
Ted Turner liked wrestling, was into it for a good while.
But he needed to stay out, though. He needed to say, hey, give me the ratings, that's all I care.
I wish he liked it a little bit more so he would buy a new federation, because we need somebody with money, an entrepreneur, who can start up a federation already, make it look top production, go around the country and get a TV deal, even if it's a small network, even if it's on at 11 o'clock at night, somewhere to start, okay? That's what needs to happen. You got to get on TV. Mark Cuban. I don't think Mark Cuban does like wrestling a little.
He's crazy.
We need to give him a call. Talk that the WrestleMania angle will conclude, the Nexus angle will conclude at WrestleMania. So we may see the Nexus angle dragged out now all the way to WrestleMania.
Wow.
Is that good?
Well, it's working all right again. I think it's picked back up.
You liked the Cena story.
Yeah.
You really liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, but didn't they say it wasn't about Cena? Now it seems to be all about Cena.
It's all about Cena. And I think Cena is definitely going to go Donnie Brasco, as I've been saying all week. And I think he eventually is going to start to like Nexus and like being with them and get an attachment to them after being with them for so long. I think he's going to feel closer to them than he does to the WWE guys, and then he's going to start, doing this stuff for real. Once they're forcing him to do this, he can only do it so much before it starts to turn. You'll see the fans sort of, crying and moaning and pissing and groaning about it. And, no, John, don't leave. And they're going to do this every week, pleading with John Cena, to listen to his conscience and come back to the good side. And it's a good story.
Will he do it?
Yeah, probably right at WrestleMania. The smart booking would say yes at WrestleMania. The payoff would be John Cena would eventually not turn, I would think. I would think he would go along with it and, fully flip over, and by WrestleMania go back to good old John Cena and the fans would celebrate.
Will there be a stipulation?
Or not. I don't know how good the heel turn would go.
You get fired. That's what I'm concerned about.
Well, there'll eventually, of course, be a stipulation where that, he can get out of this. That has to happen sooner or later. And we all know, listen, this feud is going to culminate when Vince McMahon comes back. Where's Vince? He's the only guy who knows who the GM is. The GM is the only guy who can make all these rules. So once we find out, or once Vince comes back and we find out who the GM is, then all of our questions are going to be answered, and we'll figure out when and if there's a way out here for Mr. John Cena.
You think it's Cole?
You would still think it's Cole? I don't know, but it'll all be revealed. Do you think it's too obvious?
Yeah, I don't think...
It is obvious. It's gotten ridiculously obvious. The Hughes might pick the first moment.
Right, yeah.
But now, they seem to be pointing in that direction so much that it seems like, okay, it can't be possible, right?
Well, they're doing things without him being by the computer. So before I thought maybe he was just texting from his phone or something like that.
And reports also, McMahon is very happy with Michael Cole, by the way. That's why he's moving him to SmackDown, also doing SmackDown, had him to, he thought it was a big deal, Sci-Fi, moving to the new network, so he wanted Cole there, at his best. I don't like Michael Cole.
How'd the switch go, by the way?
I didn't see the ratings. I should have checked that out, but I did not see the first SmackDown ratings.
I like the name.
Well, you have to Google it up. McMahon is not happy with Todd Grissom, the SmackDown announcer, tired of him. Apparently, he chews him out backstage. He's cutting promos on him backstage, calling him out by his name in front of other people. What a bad job he's doing. That's some rough treatment, but it might just be tough love from Vince.
Maybe.
The WWE is thinking about doing a pay-per-view pregame show, a live pregame show before their pay-per-views. Smart. I think it's a good idea. Why not? They used to do that. Well, I don't think they did it live. Sometimes they did, yeah. Remember when they had Heat? They would have Heat before the pay-per-view itself.
Right.
So, and it was, I believe, live, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it would get people hyped up for,
makes you want to order it.
Why not have a show, a 1-hour show before?
Right.
Just hold it at the stadium. Right. Have, 2 dark matches, but put them on the old Heat show. I don't know. I like Heat. Bring back Heat.
Yeah.
They say Sheamus is locked in a top spot in the WWE because a lot of people in high places like him, Triple H, Randy Orton. He's not going to be going anywhere, Sheamus fans. He's going to be up in your face. Oh, he's good. He's cool. I guess I can't hate too much on that. We already talked about DiBiase Goldust. And Paul Bearer, our good friend, was not originally planned to turn heel at Hell in a Cell, but I guess at the last minute he decided to.
Excuse me! For giving 30 years of my life to...
All right, we're not going to do the first. We're not going to do the first. We're not going to do it. But I guess originally they didn't plan him to turn heel. I think they should have waited with it. I like him better with Undertaker.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Kane, I still see Kane. They jobbed him out so much. He's such a jobber. Even now when I see him, I can't believe it. Did you like Hell in a Cell? Did you see Hell in a Cell?
No, I did miss it.
Okay, well, Kane defeated The Undertaker when Paul Bearer used the urn, I guess light in the urn. I don't know. I forget how it went. The lights went off. The light came out of the urn. It was a little ridiculous, a little silly. Randy Orton beat Sheamus in a Hell in a Cell match. These were very timid, mild Hell in a Cell matches. Like we said last week, Hell in a Crib.
Hell in padded walls.
Yeah, Hell in padded walls. Not the best. I thought the Hell in a Cell show overall didn't give me much except for the whole Barrett Cena storyline. I thought that was very interesting. They had Joe Henning, not Mike McGillity, McCullity, or whatever the heck they're calling him. I'm not even going to acknowledge that name. He's Joe Henning and Husky Harris. I never watched either of them really on NXT. I saw Joe a couple times.
I saw him.
I didn't see Husky.
I did.
But, of course, they interfered, cost John Cena the match, and Wade Barrett won. And the stipulation was, of course, he would have to join Nexus. And now that pretty much has breathed some air into the storyline, has it not? Now that Cena is, wasn't it dramatic when he had to take off his own armband and put on the Nexus armband, and the crowd was chanting, and it was a little emotional. I know you were choked up.
Guess what's next?
What's next?
A shirt.
Oh, I hope not.
Oh, yeah. You can't wear a Cena shirt the whole time.
I guess Tarver's gone, right? Tarver's gone. You happy about that? He got his ass kicked on Raw.
That's good.
By Cena. I guess he wasn't the best. I thought it was interesting they were putting the spotlight on him. At the beginning of the show, he was getting in Cena's face. Next thing you know, he picks him as a partner, and then he destroys him. And then Barrett doesn't want him anymore. So,
that's that.
Good to get rid of him?
Sure.
Cut the fat. All right, everybody, we're going to shut things down. Thanks for joining us this week, as you do every Saturday at 6 o'clock. Thanks to everybody in the chat, especially Inc., who's been going crazy and sticking with us through it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. And, of course, all of our luchadors and guests in the chat as well. So thanks for joining us and everyone in the archives. And we'll see you this Friday, ladies and gentlemen, a very special show. We're going to go old school. Old school wrestling on the Big Al Show. So join us for some throwback analysis, some throwback talk. It's going to be fun. Anything else you want to say before we close down the Big Al Show?
I can't wait for the Nitro DVD to come out.
You're very excited about that.
That was my news of the day. Forget everything else. You got WCW DVD? 1 minute. I'm there, buddy. And that's how it goes, buddy. Oh.